Greetings and salutations, everybody. We are back. It is Three Men and an Anime, episode 102. Jesus freak. Ah.
We're into the second
No,
century.
no.
I am Peter. I'm Mecha Jam. I'm joined by, as usual, by my good friends and co-hosts Eric Carlson and Gav Leaf. How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
The horrors persist, but so do I.
Fair. And probably accurate.
I am in this anime, and I like it. I've had one of those weeks where I am the hero of this anime. Let's do it. Let's have the zombie apocalypse right the fuck now.
Right, so we're covering Gav's most recent series selection. We are covering Zom 100's Bucket List of the Dead. Yes, there are zombies. A lot of zombies.
There are a lot of zombies.
They are not the true horror of the show.
They're not particularly important.
Like all, I would say.
Well, except for the zombie
stories.
great white with the scuba diver leg sticking out.
That was
very important.
There are important zombie moments. The zombies are basically an environmental threat, really.
Yeah.
As they are in any good
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they are the inciting incident for a lot of stuff, but they are not like what the story's about. So yeah, we will try to be spoiler free for at least a little bit in the beginning, but we will probably venture into spoilers. I apologize for that. If you want to be completely spoiler free and run no risks, I think we all highly recommend the show. Go watch it.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. There are zombies. The blood and gore is generally not that disturbing, largely due to the fact that it's
literally brightly colored neon.
Yeah.
Yes. The blood and gore is not the point of this show.
No, God no. There is psychological horror in parts of the show, I would say.
Oh yes. This is the thing. This show is much more in, like, as Peter said, the zombies are the environmental, the external presence. This show is absolutely much more about your own internal well-being and your mindset.
Yep.
That is the theme of this show.
Yes. I would say that's true.
And again, like most good zombie, it uses the zombie apocalypse well.
Yes.
I mean, it could be almost any other like big threat to to the status quo.
Yeah, could have been aliens, virus, zombies.
It could be financial collapse. Like,
yeah,
there are all sorts of things it could be.
Mad Max, whatever.
Dinosaurs.
Sure, dinosaurs. Why not?
Dinosaurs have been funny.
I'd say about the only one that really wouldn't work would be, Skynet, It would,
yeah.
It's a little too directed. It's got to be something that does, like, it's got to be something that does that has no intellect behind it.
An intellect limit, yeah.
At any rate, so
anyway,
unsurprisingly, this is about a few characters who are doing stuff in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. Shocking, I know.
Yes. That's never been done before. What sets this apart?
Yeah. Right. So, we've got a main character. The main protagonist is Akira Tendo. Though his three friends that the show ends up focusing on are also all very important and are. It's sort of an ensemble, but it is largely Akira's the primary point of view character is the thing.
Yeah, he's also the first character we're introduced to.
Yeah. So Akira Tendo is a salaryman, he's working at a production company actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a good one.
No, he is constantly overworked, underappreciated, underpaid. They're grinding him up.
It is a full-on black company. If you don't know what that is, it is an incredibly abusive company that's actually something of a problem in Japan.
Yeah.
They exist in other places too, but like it is a notable phenomenon in Japan.
It's one of those where Japan tried to bring in laws to make companies mandatorily give their staff time off, holidays, and strict finishing and strict working hours. And all that did is they basically started emotionally blackmailing people into choosing to voluntarily work over those hours and not take those holiday time. They were offered by the company, but the staff would not take them because, well, if you take a holiday, then your colleagues have to pick up the slack. And it's kind of unfair to do to them, don't you think? Or if you don't do overtime and get this done, then we're going to have to look at pulling the company back and possibly letting people go. And that kind of literally emotional blackmail that goes into it. It's, you know what I will say. The first episode alone, on its own, the mindset that he ends up getting into, because he shows up for his first day all, hi, I'm willing to, I'm eager to work. I'm glad to meet you all. Blah, 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 blah. They do the first day. They go to the bar to celebrate, and it's 10, 11 o'clock at night or something like that. They say, right, yeah. Okay. And he's like, oh, cool. I'll see you all tomorrow. He says, what are you talking about? We're going back to the office.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't get to go home for 3 days.
Yeah.
Because they all just sleep in the office and keep working.
Yep. And it's not just emotional blackmail. There's actual flat out psychological abuse going on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It is. And this is shit that actually happens.
You know the weird thing is that first episode in a vacuum all by itself,
honestly, that first episode is the scariest part of the whole show.
It is. It's the scariest part, and it might be a bit hyperbolic here, but that in and of itself, in a microcosm, in a vacuum, is a start to finish story.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you presented that and said that's the end of the show, I'm like, wow, that was amazing.
The first episode's brilliant. It legitimately is.
It really is. It's literally. I mean, not to say that our opinions, not to say that there are other and better reviewers out there, but I'm well aware that this is actually on the top 10 of all time anime list of Jeff Few over at Munder's Basement.
Yep.
This is in his top 10. Period.
Yeah, it's close.
A guy that watches all the anime ever.
Yep.
I don't know if I put it in my top 10, but
it's not.
good.
It's not in my top 10. It is not far outside if it is not.
And not to get a little bit depressive, but I've discussed this kind of thing before. I have mental health issues, especially based around the stresses and pressures that are put on me at work.
Right.
And I don't work for a black company.
Yep.
I am in this first episode, and I do not like it. I have been where he was.
Yep.
He was literally standing on the edge of a railway line saying, wow, if this barrier wasn't here, I wouldn't have to go to work tomorrow.
Yep.
It gets that bad for him.
Yep.
And he is literally saved by a zombie apocalypse. Good God. Where is it? Can it happen now? Come on.
It's sort of like that. The show does a great job of sort of going, all right, here's a guy. He is a zombie. All he does is work, and he's in constant torment and all this other shit. Oh wait, zombie apocalypse? Suddenly everything's in color, and he's alive again.
Yep.
Yeah. It is insane. But it's kind of insanity, and a weird way to say it, but it's an insanity that I absolutely 100% understand and relate to.
Oh, sure. No. But I mean, it's so literally, he, crashes at home, for the weekend. He's finally home for the weekend, and crashes.
Doing exactly what I do, staying up until 4 a.m., knowing full well he's got to get up at 6.
Yep.
But just trying to claw some semblance of non-work time to himself.
And the alarm goes off, and yeah. This is when he finds out that everything's gone to hell.
Yeah, he comes out of his house the same as he does every morning. Realizes that he's not paid his bike parking fees to the landlady. So goes downstairs, knocks on the door, and we basically get a Resident Evil style zombie reveal.
Yep.
Which, well done. I like that. To which point he then sprints back upstairs being chased by hordes of zombies, slams his door shut, locks himself in, and is like... he goes all the way to the roof.
Yep.
And manages to get over a chain link fence that just basically stops him from chasing him. And he's there thinking, what the hell? What's going to go on? I'm going to be late for work. Why is all... Wait. Looks around, realizes there's a plane crashing overhead. There's fires everywhere in the city. Looking around, is like, if this is happening everywhere, I don't have to go to work.
Yeah. And thus, he gets to spend time, actually, doing stuff he wants to do.
Which is relatively limited, but
yeah, there's limitations because zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Like his first like thing that he wants to do is clean up his room because he's got 3 years worth of trash lying around.
Yep.
And have beer.
Yep. And he runs out of beer very quickly because he realizes he hasn't
He does
finished.
the first one and has no beer.
Yeah. So he decides, screw it. I'm going to go to the corner. I'm going to go to the convenience store and get some beer. So he does.
I will mention. He's not quite all there.
No. Oh God, no.
No.
This is the thing as well. It's not a case of haha, I don't have to go to work. Let's just do shit. It's like now you could kind of tell that he's not emotionally 100%. He's emotionally damaged.
Oh, yeah.
He's scarred from what he went through.
Again, yeah, legitimately, he is, he's got problems.
Like he doesn't have any sort of risk versus reward like going on in his brain. It's a case, shit, I need beer. Well, time to go to the convenience store. Like no consideration that zombies are out there, other than he can't go through his front door.
Well, he knows they're there, and he's gonna run away from them. But it doesn't. I don't think. So one of the things, and we're gonna skip ahead a little bit here. I mean, we're not gonna try to recap everything.
Yeah.
But because we want you to watch the show, it's really good. And this is sort of the big sort of theme for the show is he writes up a list of things he wants to do before he becomes a zombie. And the important bit is that it is before he becomes a zombie. Like it's very clear he's accepted the fact that he is going to be killed by a zombie and turned into one at some point. Like he knows that this is not like ways I'm going to stay alive, and that's not what is going on here. He's sort of zenned himself in with we're all doomed. Might as well make the best of it for now, which is an approach. But it's very early on pointed out. When he goes to the convenience store, he does run into a young woman there who's also a survivor. She is much better at the keeping herself alive part of things than he is.
Well, to a fault.
Yes, actually, that is a large part of it. That it is Shizuka Mikazuki. Shizuka is interesting. She's sort of in many ways the other side of Tendo's coin, largely.
Yeah, because
they have similar trauma.
Very much weighs everything risk versus reward.
Yep.
You must have a plan for everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's also very much a case of and we find out why, but basically she almost lives by a mantra of do only what you need.
Yeah.
Nothing what you want, do what you need.
Yep. And she I think basically all the main cast is in some way or another, damaged.
Oh yeah.
Some are dealing with it better than others. They're all dealing with it better than you might think. But
all of them have a at least the three main the three characters spend the most time with all are set free by
absolutely
everything turning to shit. Like they suddenly are able to be their best selves without the obligations being pushed upon them and expectations being pushed upon them by some very toxic aspects of society.
Right. Absolutely. But he meets her there and she's there to she's stocking up on necessities.
Water, batteries, sensible, long-lasting foodstuffs.
Little mini propane tanks, if I remember correctly. Or kerosene tank. I forget what the types of fuel tanks you use for camp stoves and such.
Yeah. Sensible stuff.
And totally understandable. But there's a flashback she has later where she looks at like some sort of strawberry dessert thing, strawberry mochi, I think is what it was, that she passed up on.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah.
And she's like,
that's just unnecessary sugar.
maybe I should have gotten that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because Tendo walks in, just literally like, it's the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and he's just stomping and going, beer, 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 beer.
Yep.
Fills an entire basket with nothing but beer. And she's like, really? That's what you're going for in the middle of a survival situation? And choosing out about priorities is like, priority? What? I just want beer.
But they're basically, as they're leaving, like zombies start crashing in, and like he steps in front to take the hit for her because he's got the survival instincts of nothing at the moment.
Pretty much.
And she's like, "What the hell?" She's like timing it. She's heard that there's a truck coming careening all around outside. She's paying attention. Also, she's got a camera on her bike outside. And she's like, and so she pulls him out of the way before the truck comes smashing through the place and crushes the zombies. And this is where she sort of he's like, maybe we should get each other's contact details while the phone's still working. And she's like, look, dude, you have no survival plan. Your instincts.
Like, literally knowing your name will probably get me killed.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but it probably will.
So, no. Bye. Good luck, I guess. Thinking, well, I'll never run into him again. He won't survive. They run into each other again.
He's as good as meat.
Turns out, Tendo's instincts for survival, he's not good at the planning part. And he doesn't have survival instincts per se, but he's very good at, not getting himself killed somehow.
Yeah.
Mostly because he genuinely wants to be alive, is, I think, a large part of it.
Well, he's just got his life back, and he doesn't want to give it up.
Right, exactly. Yeah. He's got stuff he wants to do before he becomes a zombie. So that's sort of and so he comes up with his bucket list of the dead, as it were. Hence the title,
Yeah. It's a lot of silly shit, but it's a lot of like some of it ranges from try dreadlocks to make sure mom and dad are okay and try and give something back to them.
Yeah. Like try to repay mom and dad for all the things they did for me when I was a kid and getting me to college and all this stuff and
some of them are completely batshit in this scenario.
Yes, absolutely.
Like one of them is just play games on a large screen TV.
Yeah.
Or one of them is take a woman out for wine and dining, or date an air hostess. By the way, he manages all of these.
Yes. Some of them are sort of are done at the same time, but so he eventually decides, well, there's a chance I really need to apologize to my best friend from college because we had a real falling out a while ago. And if he's still alive, I want to make up to him. I want to at least apologize to him in some way, shape, or form. So he tries to get a hold of Kenichiro Ryozuki, also known as Kensho, who is locked up in a love hotel.
Right.
With
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. In the bondage room, with a woman in the restraints on the wall who's become a zombie.
Yeah.
I forgot that he had the girl on the literally on the cross. Yes.
And so he calls Kensho. Kensho's like, Akira? The fuck? You're alive? Yeah, dude. Where are you? Well, I'm here, but everything's gone to shit. So I guess we're not gonna see each other again. Fuck that! I'm coming to get you, buddy. What? No, Akira. He hung up. Well, fuck. And Akira does, in fact, come and get Kensho out of there.
Because of course he is. That's his friend.
Yep.
Now, I will state it's not. This is not all to say that Akira is dumb by any chance.
Oh no, he's not. He's a smart guy.
He's actually very clever in some of the plans that he comes up with. I like to think of him as a lot of characters show up in anime these days. He's got a decent intellect but very little wisdom.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the big thing about him is he doesn't.
Honestly, I'd say he's probably the opposite, because his instincts are excellent. He's really good at like quick off the cuff stuff and like knowing and jumping before he really realizes that he needs to jump. But like planning and forethought on his just aren't his bag.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Might be the other way around.
His instincts are excellent. Yeah, Eric's right. And his emotional intelligence is actually very high. Like he's profoundly empathetic, believe it or not. Yeah. Oh,
which you think would be a liability in the zombie apocalypse.
Actually,
turns out
if
the opposite.
If you really think about it, no, it actually should. It is not. Empathy is actually like the most important trait you have in a disaster situation. It turns out.
No. All the grim dark grr on the last angry man stuff tells me that empathy is for losers.
And if you look at actual historical disaster response,
yes,
I know you're aware of this. I'm making sure it gets out there. Seriously, go look up what happened during the San Francisco fire. Yeah, the shit the batch that happened, that was the people up top, like, you know, in the people like in charge, screwing everything up that everyone else actually is fixing. Just saying.
There's actually an interesting phenomena that happens. I forget what it's called, where the more power you have, the more likely you are to panic and do everything wrong.
Yep.
But like schmuckos on the ground, they know what needs to get done, and they do it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Just let that thought sit for a moment. Isn't topical at all.
And
right,
on with the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, he basically, it flashes back to the last meeting they had, where Akira's sort of complaining about this black company, and Kensho's like, dude, just quit. Like, it's not worth it, dude. And he's been bragging. He's been sort of talking about how all the cool shit he's been up to. All the hot ladies he's being with, and all the money he's making, and
all the schmoozing and all the awesome sales he's making, because he's in some kind of sales.
He's a salesman of some sort.
Yeah, I forget exactly what he is.
He says real estate. I'm kind of thinking it was all bullshit himself.
There's very bit of bullshit there.
He was working as a gigolo, basically.
No, I think he was actually doing sales, and he just absolutely hated his job.
Maybe. Because it's just like some of the stuff that he was saying is like, he makes all these sales, he's got a different girlfriend every night.
Oh, some of it was bullshit, absolutely.
And he went on an overnight trip to Paris from Japan.
Oh yeah, no, some of it was obviously bullshit, like no question. Yeah. But I think he was legitimately in sales, just like because the loathing he had for, given the personality we see of him, we can see him being very good at it and hating himself for that.
Yeah. I think he mentions real estate at some point.
I think that might be what it was. But yeah, and basically, Akira blows up at him and saying, like, dude, like, why are you talking shit about my job? You're just bragging about yours. And they get into an argument and go off in a huff. And like they're both like, dude, I am so sorry. I was way out of line. Like Akira's like, and Kensho's like, dude, you were completely right. I was bragging up a storm, like, my job sucked. I hated life. It was awful.
I lied to everyone every day and hated myself for it. It was the worst thing I've ever done. And all I wanted to do was just forget how terrible a person I was. And I'm sorry.
Yeah. And, we find out that what Kensho really wanted to do was be a stand-up comedian.
And be naked.
Well, yeah. Well, that's his intro joke, Eric.
Kensho
step one,
has a habit.
Get nude. Step 2, laughs ensue.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a jock. Let me just say this.
I don't think there are many episodes where Kensho doesn't end up naked.
There are not. Once he shows up,
he ends up naked in every episode.
Once he shows up, yes, because he's not naked in the first episode. Because he's not in the first episode.
He's
But
not in it. Yeah.
he's not in it.
no, he does, doesn't he? When they
no, he's not nude in the first episode because he's not in the first episode.
Oh, you're right. But every episode he's in, he ends up naked. At
Yes,
some point.
he does. I think that's 100% accurate.
You know
But
that
the dude just doesn't like clothes.
if you've ever seen it, the Jim Carrey movie Bruce Almighty, the scene where he's like he does the whole bit in the bedroom, and like he like goes into the praying position, sweeps his arms back, and his clothes just rip to the floor. That's Kensho.
Pretty much.
The dude can disrobe quicker than anyone I've ever seen.
It's pretty much. He just teleports like 6 inches to the left, and his clothes are off. That's what he does. I'm convinced.
It is a talent. It is a borderline superpower. Let's be real.
It really is.
He is in large part a himbo. Like he is he is an utter sweetheart, and he is not as smart as you know. He's not stupid, but he's not that smart either.
He's the bard of the pie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He is. He is textbook definition himbo.
Absolutely. You know. Big of heart, dumb of ass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, he is an utter sweetheart now that he doesn't have to do sales anymore. Like he's out of that, so he can use his 18 charisma for good.
Yes.
Also, he is also like physically in incredible shape. Like I mean, so's Akira.
They both used to do rugby.
Yeah,
and they both kind of kept up with it.
Like Akira's like not as fit as Kensho is because he spent 3 years working for a black company. Like
yeah, he spent 3 years basically grinding himself to dust, and he's still in remarkably good shape.
Yeah,
I mean, Kenshiro had the time to actually and wherewithal to actually maintain his fitness regimen.
Yep.
Because
sales.
He's in sales. He's got to look good.
So they just start hanging out together on a rooftop, largely. And Kensho starts adding stuff to Akira's list. And
they're quite smart. They end up camping out on a rooftop.
Yep.
That's got its own water storage tank
Yep.
on the roof.
It's got a cistern on the roof.
No, they did a great job. They legit very smart about things.
Yeah.
Again,
it's one of those shows where like they could quite easily go into like explaining the this, that, and the other. But if you're paying attention, you'll see why they did these things.
oh yeah.
They don't just spoon feed you all the this is not a survival guide for a zombie apocalypse.
Oh god, no.
This is two people surviving in the zombie apocalypse. Pay attention if you want to know why they chose what they did.
Yeah.
And there are a bunch of things where they go a place. For the first chunk of the series, it's a lot of sort of episodic. They go to a place, zombie shenanigans happen. They help people out, etc.
Yeah.
Usually involving like, and sometimes the people that they're unable to save people. Like when they're going to get the big screen TV, they end up in a mall. They meet up with a bunch of air stewardesses,
three air stewardesses and some guy
and a businessman,
and and everyone ends up dead except for them
because the businessman had been bit and had not revealed it to anybody because he's exactly that sort of asshole.
He's that kind of asshole, yes. Yeah.
But like I said earlier, in the meantime, they get to do the whole wine and dine air stewardesses. That's off the list. It's like,
and you know, Tendo has a really sweet moment with the woman he's hanging out with.
He's trying to get a girlfriend, so he tries to impress her by snorting fucking tequila.
Yeah, that's the dumb part.
he's not dumb,
but
he's not smart.
It turned out to be an excellent icebreaker for the group as a whole, because he just did something profoundly stupid and hilarious.
So he kind of funny actually.
Basically, they all sort of go off in little groups, and he's hanging out with one of them who's got a boyfriend. Like he's sort of like interested in her, but like when he finds out she's got a boyfriend, he's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah, there's kind of three. There's like the old jaded one who's actually angry at everything, but was actually the one that was most impressed about him, snorting tequila because she's the one that's already downed a bottle of Jack.
Yeah. But she also seems like a fairly decent sort overall. She's just pissed off.
Yeah. The baby of the group, so to speak, the the one that goes to look after Akira because he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Who's the young one with the younger
he's
brother?
not he's very 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 ill at this point because of how he's ingested how much alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's just a caring one.
She's like, yeah, okay,
And-
they're making sure you're okay.
Kenshiro is
And
literally
Kensho,
falls into bed with the other one, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately, the businessman was turned into a zombie, and yeah, everything goes bad.
And everything goes to hell.
But like the
they get
scene
TV.
between Akira and the stewardess is really cute and sweet.
Yeah.
They're talking about like what they want, and she's like, yeah, I actually wanted to, like, I hated what the job became, but this is what I actually want to do. Like, the good parts of being a hostess is like great. It's like I love caring for people and helping them out and all this stuff, but like, yeah, there's a lot of bullshit around it too. Shocking, I know.
Yeah. Because it's just
Good
when
job, you say.
yeah.
Capitalism, you say.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing how many people have issues with their jobs in this show.
What? No. This show has nothing to say about that sort of thing.
But yeah, it is a strange juxtaposition to see this cute little moment about, just two young people bonding to the most bloodless example of anyone having their face ripped off by someone else's teeth.
Yeah.
I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah. It's really well done. They end up later on. They end up at the aquarium.
Where Akira decides he's going to put on a shark suit and be a superhero for a while.
Which, again, extremely clever.
Yep.
Yeah.
They don't they don't go into this whole thing about saying, they don't come up with any bullshit reason like, oh, but I knew about this because blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, I watched Shark Week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't try and overly it wasn't some master plan. It was just a case of, I've heard of these suits that dudes have to stop sharks biting them.
I think it'd be
Surely
brilliant against
that'll work
zombies,
against
and he's
zombies.
right. They're brilliant against zombies.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop the actual crushing effect of the bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
But
still
you're not
hurts.
getting infected.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
big
literally
plus.
it's literally a space age chainmail suit.
Yep.
Genius.
It's great.
Now, of course, Akira being Akira, he dons the scuba mask and everything else and becomes a fucking Kamen Rider.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of course he does.
This is
And
one
to
of
meet
his
up
childhood
with,
dreams.
With what's her name again?
Yes, Shizuka shows up at the place. Basically, they end up saving Shizuka and a bunch of people who were. She was basically found a group of people that she was helping out and leading.
Yeah, she
And,
took a risk to get out of the city, basically.
Yeah, and unfortunately, things went badly because it's a zombie apocalypse series.
Someone on the bus was bitten, and it all went to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they escape to the aquarium, and Akira buys them a bunch of time because he's in his suit and gets to be a superhero. And Shizuka's like, that was fucking stupid. Why would you do that?
To be fair,
Because I'm awesome.
he does get jumped by like 4 and
Yeah.
pinned down, and Kensho's like, "You okay?" It's like, "This hurts." Is the suit holding up? Yes. Okay. See you later. To the point where we come back like 10 minutes later, and he's managed to wriggle his way through and throw each individual zombie over the bridge
Into the water,
to get rid
yeah.
of them.
Oh god. So yeah, Shizuka's not. It's like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Why would you risk yourself to save people you've never met before? And he's like, because it's the right thing to do. Because you help people if you can.
Yeah, she starts scolding him on the principles of being a hero and how stupid the concept that is and all that bullshit,
Yep. By the way, you may be thinking Shizuka is a wet blanket and you might not like her very much. There's reasons for that, and boy, howdy, she turns things around.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's fucking awesome. Also, there's this aquarium has a shark tank with a great white in
Yeah,
it.
big ass shark in it.
Foreshadowing!
Big ass shark is of course zombified.
But boy, you think
Scuba
if you
divers inside it.
it had eaten 4 scuba divers, so it eventually busts out, and it's a great white shark being propelled on land by 4 scuba divers, like sticking out of its gut. It's
And
amazing.
it's amazing.
It is
absolutely
It
brilliant.
is borderline Junji Ito concept, but done for absurdist humor, as opposed to just creepy horror shit. Like, so yeah, basically, so Akira basically tries to save people again, and Shizuka gets roped into this, and she's like, fine, well, okay, if I'm gonna be doing this. But yeah, so again, like Akira and Shizuka work together very well and save the day. Of course, they do need a distraction from Kensho, which involves him getting naked.
Him getting naked and waving his bare ass at a shark.
Come bite my ass! Which is, okay.
And due to the healing powers of nudity, they escape.
Yep. And Shizuka goes off on her again because still she is not convinced that hanging out with Akira is a good idea because he has the survival instincts of a wet noodle, as far as she's concerned.
She does, however, give him a name.
Yes.
And contact details. That she's willing to go that far.
But she does not want to hang out with them.
No.
Eventually, they decide, well, fuck it, we gotta, it looks like, the northern prefectures, they blocked off the tunnels, and, maybe, the villages up there where Akira's parents are, maybe they might be okay there. We should go check in on them. How the fuck are we gonna get there? An RV!
Well, the only way you do travel in a zombie apocalypse.
And so they arrive at they go to the dealership to get themselves, they ride their motorcycle over to the dealership to get an RV, to pick themselves up an RV. And run into Shizuka there because she had the exact same fucking idea. Of get the fuck out of the city, go up to the countryside, drive an RV. Wait, you've decided on something sensible, Akira? What the fuck?
Well, it turns out the funny thing about that is that for her, she's super meticulous and does a lot of research into things. The only research that it shows you that she's been doing is basically watching zombie movies.
What else are you gonna do research on how to survive in a zombie apocalypse?
Exactly. True. So she starts following zombie movie tropes.
And avoiding the ones that get you into trouble.
Yes.
In general.
But going for an RV is a good idea. And yes, I spotted it in the background. The one from Walking Dead is in there.
Yes, it is. But yes, they eventually end up all in the same RV because zombies show up. And so they book it out of there with the RV and the motorcycle and start heading up north. Because of course you do.
And then there's this asshole.
Yeah, we arrive at the truck stop. They coming up to a truck stop, and their road spikes out for some reason. And it turns out that there's been sort of a gang that's taken over this truck stop, led by Akira's old boss. The one who was particularly abusive to him.
Yeah. Now Kensho took a bit of a spill during the
the spike thing. He was on the bike, so
He was on the bike in a Hawaiian shirt, so
he's lucky he's not an organ donor. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're lucky he didn't leave 3/4 of himself spread across the pavement.
Yeah, as I said,
was still alive to scream about it.
Yes.
The way he was dressed with no helmet.
He's lucky. Yes.
Yeah.
They weren't going super fast, which helps, but
don't need to go that fast.
You don't. I know. I'm just saying.
Your skin on this road.
It helps a little bit. At any rate, yeah, he's still messed up though, and so they're cornered by these assholes, and basically Akira's old boss, whose name escapes me, and I'm not going to bother looking it up. It
doesn't really matter.
He literally just refers to him as Chief.
He does refer to him as Chief. I think he's got a name, but not that important.
He's got a name, but it's wholly unimportant.
But yes, the former chief.
He's basically working the same racket that he always did. Is that he berates alternates between berates and cajoles people into doing his bidding for him. And
he's very good at manipulating people. He is psychological. He knows how to use psychological abuse as a weapon, and he's a classic abuser.
He's a classic abuser, classic cult tactics.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, he even tries to he tries to say that the road spikes were nothing to do with him or his group. But they're just there to help, and to help get you back on the road. We can change your tires for you. We can heal your friend up for you. Let us help. Just do a few favors for us while you're here.
Yeah, just work for us for a couple of days. Which point he starts, abusing Akira. Goes back. Akira falls back into the old patterns because, like, hasn't really been able to confront that, or
Yeah.
He's still
he hasn't really broken out of it. He's just
Yeah. I mean, again, he's suffering from PTSD, like legitimately, like. And you watch as Shizuka's watching. You can see her sort of putting one and one together and getting two, and she's like, "Aha! Oh, this explains a lot. Oh, this explains everything. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, we have more in common than I thought we did."
Yeah.
Oh boy, fuck. Well. Here's hoping that he's not working his way out of this, is he? It's too recent, isn't it? Oh no. So yeah, basically, the chief he's got his own little fiefdom here,
Yeah.
And not only is he an abusive asshole, he's also a sexist pig.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. And he's very clearly hit it. He very quickly latched on to Shizuka as somebody he wants to get with.
Yeah,
she's having none
she
of
is
it.
Smoking.
Oh god, yeah. Like, Shizuka's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, she basically, you can see she's like, we just have to get to the day, and we just have to get in a couple of days, and we can leave. I don't have to murder this guy. Because if I try to,
much considering murdering him.
Oh yeah, you can see it on her face. She's like, I could just break this bottle and shiv him, but that might not work. And breaking the bottle thing might break and cut your hand, and that's bad. She's not actually saying
a lot of what happens afterwards depends on which way his mooks jump.
Yeah,
and they might decide that I need to go.
And they might take it out on Akira and Kensho, and like, I kind of started like enjoying their company a little bit. Fuck. So yeah, like, it gets particularly abusive. Also, they have a bunch. They've semi-cleverly have roped a bunch of zombies into basically towing around like things and such by being tied up in chains and like leading them around and such. Similar to some of the stuff they were doing with the zombies in Shaun of the Dead at the end of the movie.
A little bit, yeah.
Except, it turns out this was a terrible idea in this movie, in this series.
Yeah, the chief is like, they're the ideal workforce. They don't complain. They just do what they're told and shut up and don't whine about it. It's like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what he psychologically reduces, Akira to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so things are going pretty badly for Akira, and he's sort of fallen back. It's worse than it was at work before, honestly, because it's sort of a case of, has a brief respite of freedom, then it's snatched out from underneath him. Like,
well, it's that, as well as the, like, he tries to say, well, obviously the boss can't be the same as he was back then because the world's changed. Oh, here's this crate of beer that I found.
Clearly,
yeah,
right?
Here's this crate of beer I found. I'm gonna stick it in the fridge and chill it down, and it'll be cool because like everyone can have cold beer. And he comes stomping in, and who the fuck told you to put that in there? That's my beer. Like, he was literally stashing it away from everyone else.
Yep.
Fucking over even the ones that were loyal to him, until somebody walks in and says, "Oh, cool, is that beer for us?" And he's like, "Oh, you son of a bitch! You've just cost me a fucking crate of beer."
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought I'd do everyone. You've been doing such a great job. We're gonna have cold beer.
And I will say this: yes, the chief has changed. He's worse than he was before.
Yeah, because there's nobody above him.
Nope. Again, when Eric mentioned that syndrome about what happens with people who in a disaster situation when they have actual power.
Yeah.
Right there.
Right there.
They become assholes. Wait, no, they're already assholes.
They fuck up. They fuck things up, and he fucks up. More than a few times. And his underlings also fuck up badly. the everything sort of comes down to they got people doing a supply run in a truck, and like one of the guys says, "Hey, dude, don't leave the back open. Like when you put something, don't leave the back open. The zombie might get in there." Oh yeah, there's nothing in there. We'll close it. But good point. A zombie had snuck in.
Yeah.
So when that truck comes back just as Shizuka and Kensho are leaving, and they're trying to convince Akira to come with them.
And he's done a really good job of fucking with Akira, so yeah.
Akira's literally like saying, "I'm sorry, guys.
I think it'd be better if I stay here.
I've got responsibilities here now."
And like, Shizuka literally has a brilliant speech at this point, where she takes his bucket list, and walks up to him and just starts saying, "Look, dude, it's not about like because he basically talking about what he needs to do." She's like, "Dude, the one thing I've learned from you, and it's a big one, is that it's not just about what you need; it's what you want. Fuck need, etc. Like, what do you want to do, Akira?" And she sort of slaps him slaps the book in his chest, and he basically remembers that one of the things he has on his list is tell his old boss off.
Yeah, tell his old boss to fuck off.
And he does in a very polite way. Yes.
The thing about
I would not have been so polite.
The thing about it is that the boss tries to throw all of those same, the blackmail techniques that I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Throws those same techniques at him. He's like, "But if you don't, you owe us. We fixed your car." "Well, I'm sorry, Chief. I'm just not going to be able to repay you. Please accept my apologies." "But we gave you a place, and all these other people are going to have to pick up your work. I do apologize to them. Please accept my apologies."
It's very, very traditional Japanese corporate, and it's hilarious.
Yes, but it's such a fucking like. The point of it is obviously no one in Japanese corporate culture is willing to stand up and say that because you get your ass fired.
Yep. And yeah, so at which point the truck shows up, they open the back, and the zombie leaps out and attacks the dude.
Yep.
And things go really badly. People panic.
And everything turns to shit, basically.
Everyone panics, except for, our heroes, because, they're not fucking idiots. And they've been dealing with zombies for a while. They're like, oh, okay, well, this is... Ah, shit, everyone's panicked. Ah, shit, the zombies pulling the trucks have been broken free.
Yeah.
Fuck. We gotta get out of here.
Everyone else has basically just been running.
Yeah.
They've not been learning to survive or live. They've just been running to the next, from the one safe spot to the next safe spot to the next safe spot. And the chief is absolutely, completely unprepared to defend anything.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, he's in charge. He doesn't have to do stuff. So, yeah, and Akira comes up with a brilliant plan to deal with the zombies. And save the chief because he's too nice for his own good sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too good a person.
But I will say, boy howdy, the
shithole end.
I will say, the chief, the actual punch the chief gets is actually arguably worse than what would have happened otherwise. If he hadn't saved him, it turns out.
Yes. Because everyone sees how fucking incompetent and Weasley he is. And
they all leave him behind.
They all tell him to go fuck himself because he's shown absolutely zero leadership whatsoever.
Yeah, the new guy's been much better leader than you were. What?
Yeah.
Leave him all alone in the middle of the truck stop. We never see the chief again.
No. Well, no. I will say, just I'm just going to put this in here because this is basically where it stops. There is a live action version of this. It's not horrible. And it basically combines this story, the truck stop. There is no truck stop. The chief is basically running his organization out of the aquarium. They combine the two into ones for pacing, basically. It's actually not terrible. If you like the live action stuff, or at least willing to give it a try, go give it a try. Honestly, it's actually kind of funny. But I just wanted to drop it in now because it's going to have no bearing on what comes after.
Yep.
It literally stops there.
I mean, I would recommend watching the animated version personally, just for the simple reason.
There's that too. Yeah. I'm just saying, if you see it on Netflix, because they're both on Netflix, I believe. At least the live action version is on Netflix. If you see it, don't avoid it because it's live action. It's actually fairly funny. Just know that it only goes up to this point.
I mean, you should avoid it because it's a live-action remake of an animated property, and therefore
We
it's
know
about
how you
it.
feel, Eric.
Not enough people do because they keep on doing it.
Anyways, moving on.
Yes.
So at this point, they manage to get further north, and they come across a crash. This is where they come across a wrecked shipping truck. And they're like, oh, we got to save them. There's someone inside. We got to save them. So Akira gets his shark suit on and goes charging out. And the door busts open, and someone in full samurai armor with a katana, a naginata comes
Naginata.
leaping out and hews the zombies to death.
Yeah.
And we are introduced to Beatrix Ammerhauser, a German weeb.
She is a gigantic weeb.
Oh my god. She knows more about the history of Japanese culture than basically anybody else in the show.
She's an obsessive Japanophile.
I actually really love the bit where she starts going on like a big expository rant about some aspect of Japanese culture, and it just like speed up her dialogue and like runs some subtitles in the background that go by too fast to read.
It's brilliant. It's really funny.
Yeah, we were like, Akira's like, Jesus, she knows more about Japan than most Japanese people.
So yes, Beatrix,
She saved up her whole life to this point.
to go to Japan,
To go to the Japan and actually experience what she's read about.
and she lands, she gets off the end of the airport just as the apocalypse starts.
So what does anyone do in this situation? They grab a suit of medieval armor and some battle-ready weapons and go looking for some fresh fish to make sushi.
Yep.
And that's what I'd do.
Well,
I mean, to be fair,
yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Go on.
Gav.
I was gonna say Shizuka, at least even she says, actually, as far as zombie survival goes, samurai armor's not actually a bad shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it turns out Beatrix knows her shit in combat, so
Oh yeah, she's by far the best fighter of the group.
oh yeah, no
By
question.
far.
By
Oh, yeah.
far.
I very much get the impression she does a lot of like Hemo Obu hurt, but with
Oh,
like
yeah.
Japanese weaponry.
Absolutely. She absolutely does, yes. Like, I'm willing to bet you she studied Iado as opposed to the actual, actual sword combat style as opposed to, Kendo.
Kendo
right?
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's actually studied actual sword play and, actual, like, all the actual weapons. She's clearly studied martial arts. She knows archery.
He's a hell of a shot.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
yes.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure she does
Hammer type stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Hema, wherever it's pronounced. She is, let's just say she's got a stereotypical Westerner build for a female character
Yeah.
in anime.
Yeah.
Big old tracts of land.
Yep. She's a big, blonde, buxom delight. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
an utter
she's-
sweetheart.
Japan loves their Germans. It's weird how much Japan loves Germany.
Yeah.
Well, they can't be American because that's just controversial enough.
Yeah.
Germany. Germany's never done anything controversial.
Not to Japan.
Sorry.
Well, also, to be fair, Germany post-World War II, a lot different than Germany, around that time.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
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 Germany, honestly, post-90s is very different.
Uh-huh.
Seeing as it's now one country.
Yep.
But like the whole just slipping in random German.
Oh, yeah. And again,
Is- yeah.
like all the main cast, she's a delight. I love her. She's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so like Shizuku has like both Shizuku and Akira sort of are giving each other things that they kind of don't have. Like Shizuku's, actual rational approach to like trying not to die is helping out Akira, and Akira's sort of like, actually knowing how to live, not like survive, but live, is really helping
Yeah.
out Shizuku. She's like, yeah, oh fuck. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention when I mentioned she had a lot more in common with Akira than she thought she did. Yeah, her dad was really abusive.
Her dad
Yeah.
was a piece of shit.
Oh my god. Might be more of a piece of shit than Akira's boss.
Yeah. He's the one that instilled the need not want mentality in her. Like
Yeah.
literally like don't bother with boyfriends. Your marriage will be to somebody advantageous from business perspective
Yeah.
kind of guy.
being a medical profession is it's no good. Doesn't make enough money going into finance.
Yeah, you don't want to be a
doctors serve people like us.
Yeah,
We don't become
doctors
doctors.
and lawyers. Doctors and lawyers serve people like us. They don't earn enough money. You're better than that. You're better than being a doctor. That's the kind of asshole this guy is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
businessman is better than being a doctor.
By the way,
dog, and you
but,
cared for it. We can't have that. I had it put down.
yeah. By the way, the distraction you've got in the attic, I had animal control and put it down. It was a fucking puppy.
Yep. One that she actually had nursed back to health.
Yeah. No, he was a monster.
He's a piece of shit. Colossal piece of shit. And she is still
she ended up as well adjusted as she did.
Oh yeah, no, she had to some point. She shut down largely, as a survival tactic. Really,
she did. That's the thing. She always pushed against him, but she never became him. She just stopped fighting him.
Yeah,
yeah.
But she also knew that being him was that was also, she retained that is bullshit.
Yeah.
But in doing so, she largely shut down everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so hanging out with Akira and Kensho has really helped her.
But she shut up and she did what she was told.
Yep.
Sound familiar?
Yep.
Yep.
And she has moments where she Akira talks to her about, do you think you ever find someone you don't want to be with? Because he's got a massive crush on Shizuka. Understandably, but yes.
Yeah.
Especially at this point.
I mean...
And she goes off on her whole thing about love is stupid, and
yeah,
she later apologized, look, Akira, I'm sorry. That was the old me coming out again because it's been a bit stressful recently. I don't part of the way I had to survive was rebel. It was other people's opinions are bullshit. That's sort of what I was grown up being taught, and I don't like doing that. I'm sorry. It's oh wow.
The line she comes out with that sets it all off again is something along the lines of I've had to be closed off from everything for so long. I'd hope that if I ever do fall in love, it would be for somebody who I can be as open as I am right now, like I am here.
Yeah.
Realizes what she said, and both of them turn into bright orange beacons.
At which point Kensho and Beatrix show up. They're in a mountainside hot spring.
Yes.
Yeah.
They show up. And
they're like, how come you guys get to have a bath? We're having a bath.
Why didn't you wake us up when you found this?
We are having a bath.
And insert naked Kensho because,
well, not
it's
even
an
that.
episode.
It's the thing is, Beatrix is she's not as quick to get naked as Kensho is, but she has no problems doing so in the right circumstances. She was she's the outgoing Westerner. So there's only heat in the men's spring. The women's spring's kind of collapsed. Oh, so and Shizuka's so we'd both have to get in here. Cue the boys sat on a rock with cheesy grins on their face, waiting. And she's well, if we have to, Beatrix immediately disrobes and
she brings up the point that, historically, this is mixed baths were a total thing in Japan for a long time. And she's right.
Yep. She's got them on a historical front.
Of course she's right, but that doesn't mean anything.
No, she's, again, she's sort of largely, so... No, she does not get it. She does not... There is definitely Beatrix fan service. It is not as prevalent as Kensho's fan service. Let's just put it that way.
No, not at all.
No, that's the weird thing.
Close.
Yeah.
I've seen complaints online about this, about how unrealistic she is or how accentuated she is, and literally the response in every single time this is brought up is Kenshiro is butt-ass naked in every episode.
And have you looked at how he's built?
I'll put it out there. She is
exaggerated.
What's I'm looking for? She has an exaggerated sexuality in her design, shall we put
it? Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. 100%. Yeah. So does Kensho.
Yes.
Yes.
That is the point. I mean, the point is all four of them are hot. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sort of like, at any rate, they eventually get up to up north, up to the tunnel leading to the village where Akira grew up. It's been sealed off. There are a whole bunch of zombies in there. We do not have a tunnel full. We do not have a Chekhov tunnel full of zombies here. We totally have. We totally do.
Yeah, Chekhov
There's a
tunnel
lot of
full
Chekhov
zombies.
gun moments in the last few episodes.
Yeah.
We got the tunnel full of zombies, the woodcutter in the forest, the woodworker in the forest, the power system for the electrical fence around the village.
Oh yeah. Basically, what happens is like the last 4 episodes.
I think it's
When
closer
they-
to 3.
Well,
Well, no,
there's
when-
the final
when-
three-parter, but the fourth one ties into it.
Yes,
Okay.
when this show first aired, the final 3 episodes, I think it was. Basically, it had its run up until around about August, October of the year, and then for some
Right.
reason they saved the last like 2 or 3 episodes for Christmas Day. There was like a 3 or 4 month gap. There was issues with the studio. It got held off, but they managed to finish it at least. But they leave it at a point where they've gone through this. They found this tunnel, realized that the village is basically isolated, so it should be safe. Have a great episode going through the forest to the secret mountain pass that Akira knows. The woodworker, the carpenter, has a great like. His character is amazing. He does a lot for Akira's character building as well, just before getting back to his home village.
Yep.
And then we go into basically what is the 3-parter, the 3-part finale, and I will admit this is my only problem with this as such, because the first part of the finale is all set up.
Yep.
Everything is Chekhov's.
Yep.
Chekhov fence, Chekhov lawnmower, digger,
Yep.
Chekhov's tunnel, Chekhov's shit pot.
Yep. We did not. I will admit,
right.
we did not see.
Check out
We did not see the cistern being the I forget the term for it.
Cesspool.
We did not see the cesspool actually being an important plot point. None of us saw that coming.
I mean, Kenshiro is going to get naked and get into it. That's obvious. The minute we saw that, it's like,
Well,
Kenshiro is going naked and into
Someone
that.
guy
told him.
even
Someone
says-
told him not. The guy dared him to jump into it, and he said, "Yeah, no, I'm not that stupid."
Yeah.
This becomes a plot point.
Oh, so yeah, that's my only problem with it, and I believe it was down to the issues that the studio was having. But episode 1 is literally set up everything. Episode 2 is light the touch paper, and episode 3 is conclusion.
Yep. And it works well. Yeah, we're introduced to we meet the village and like, you know, Akira's parents who are sweethearts. His dad's a bit gruff, but is at heart a really good guy. Looks like he's a major health issue though. Turns out might be a little bit different than you're thinking.
I wouldn't have a problem with that if he wasn't constantly going around saying, "I don't have long left."
Well, he is old.
I'm not spoiling it because it's bullshit. You can deal with it on your own time.
We meet most of the village are fairly old at this point because a lot of the younger folks had left. There's some younger people in the village. They're all people who escaped the cities, basically.
Kekko's makeup artist.
Yep. Yeah, one of the people there is a woman who was a makeup artist for a movie studio, and she worked on a whole bunch of zombie movies. And they were filming one as the outbreak happened. And she said, "Yeah, that was a thing."
How much of a mindfuck is that? You're making your co-stars, the co-workers up to look like zombies. Then actual zombies start. There's a horde of zombies running around out there in zombie makeup.
Yes.
Yo, dog, I heard you like zombies.
So I put zombies in zombies. Oh, talk about an old meme there.
Yep.
Anyways, we are introduced to the evil antithesis of our heroes.
Yes. Bakugo.
Yes, one of the I don't God the lead dude's name is important.
Horikoshi, was it?
Something like
Higurashi.
that. Higurashi, yes. Higurashi, who's voiced the guy who voices Bakugo, at least in the Japanese.
Yeah.
Very distinctive voice, honestly. Yeah, we all sit there going, wait, that voice is really fucking familiar. And Gav lit up, it's Bakugo. It's like, yeah, that's it. Yep. So Higurashi, he's a bit of an antisocial asshole. I mean, let's be real.
Well, he's an introvert. Where like pre-job Akira was an outgoing.
Oh, Akira's an extrovert, absolutely.
Yeah, outgoing extrovert. He's the opposite. He's the introvert who just couldn't ever connect with anyone.
Yeah, he's an introvert with probably some social anxiety and does not handle it well.
Yeah.
And he's sort of he's become a hikikomori or NEET, whatever you want to call it. And when the zombie outbreak happens, he's like, well, fuck, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And he's become very cynical and
hateful,
misanthropic.
Really.
Yeah, misanthropic is a good word for it.
He's become a full-on misanthrope at this point, honestly. And has decided, well, fuck it. Fuck everything. I'm gonna burn shit to the ground because fuck it. It's what I want to. I want the stuff I want to do before everything's going to hell. We're all gonna die. Let's just cut loose and do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
And burn everything to the ground. Now, as Eric pointed out, and I agree with this, that's a very understandable and reasonable thing to think. There's a problem with this. Everything's already burning to the ground.
Yeah.
And what he ends up deciding to burn and destroy is not the previous system that fucked him over. It's the people who are trying to fucking help him.
Yeah.
He's decided. So go on.
He was given an option, an opportunity for growth and healing, but is too deep down in his hole to see it.
Yeah, he is way too. He's way too traumatized, way too depressed, and way too angry to see it. Until it's basically shoved in his face.
Frankly,
that's not really.
These are all reasons. They are not excuses.
Exactly. Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. You are that. Yes.
I need to make that clear. These are reasons, not excuses.
Absolutely.
He's still making the choice to be a hurtful, destructive little shit.
Yes.
Yeah. It's also very important when it comes to the circle that he's surrounded himself with.
Yes. He stumbles across three other misanthropes basically, of various sorts, all of whom have axes to grind, and they all basically they are the mirror opposite of the heroes of the story. Like,
yeah. It's literally a case of every single one of them has some sort of woe is me, society / life / the universe hates me. It's not my fault. There's reasons why. Not reasons. There's excuses why. They won't own up to anything that they've done.
Yep.
Or
that they're potentially wrong.
Yep.
And honestly, it is easy to feel bad for all of these guys. Like the salary man with the wife that doesn't love him. The fat guy who keeps on who just can't get the hang of the French language, and they keep on giving him orders in French. Less the office lady, because
she's just kind of a piece of work. Let's be real.
She's just kind of a piece of shit.
Well, she, like I said, she's Rimmer.
I mean, she's Rimmer without any of Rimmer's redeeming qualities.
And inflexible.
Yeah,
she has less redeeming qualities than Rimmer does.
She's like an office. She's like kind of like an office matron kind of situation. It's like, why did you put the stapler on the left hand side of the hole punch? You know it goes on the right.
Yeah,
but it's
you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
This is my desk. Why are you giving me shit over my desk?
So she's terrible. Legitimately, she has a rod further up her ass than Arnold Judas Rimmer does.
Yeah, his middle name was Judas.
Yeah. But yeah, in regards to the big guy, it's that mentality. It's like you've gone and gotten a job at a French restaurant, and then you start complaining that you don't understand French. Why can't they just give you the instructions in Japanese?
I mean, that's honestly, he's not forward facing. It's a legit question. Why can't you just give me No one's teaching me French. No one's explaining this shit for me to me. Can you please just give me the orders in Japanese? It's not like I'm front facing. I'm in the kitchen. That's a legit question request.
But admittedly,
I'm sorry, I feel for him there.
Admittedly, though, in those situations, it's like, you know what some places are like. You know, they want that authenticity. They might hire a French chef, for example.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
But
but the whole thing about it is he's then punished for not doing his job as he should by having to stay late and clean. At which point, he's smoking while doing his job, throws a lit cigarette in the trash can, and burns the whole place down.
Yeah,
and his
throwing a lit cigarette in the trash can, that's a problem.
And his
Smoking
immediate
while in the kitchen cleaning, that is what every kitchen staff member does.
But his immediate
smoke.
But his immediate response to this was, "Well, that's not my fault. I told them they should have put ashtrays in the kitchen."
Yeah.
It's like, they won't take responsibility for anything that he's done. There's always an excuse.
Oh no, like I said, he's the guy I feel most sorry for because of his situation. That doesn't mean that any of his actions are at all justified.
Oh no, they're absolutely not. Yep.
No, I'm not trying to justify.
I happen to feel sorry for. Like, his situation legitimately sucked.
Yeah, no,
but
I mean, so it breaks down to, like, you know, and so.
And sorry, just because might as well round it all off. We get to the third one. The guy with the wife that doesn't appreciate him and the family that doesn't love him, and somebody points out to him and says, "Well, what did you do for them?"
I mean, other than going, like, yes, you went, he did go to, he worked a job he hated, way too many hours, all that stuff, but he showed no, like.
You expected your wife to, like, love you and be caring and all that sort of stuff. What did you do for her in return, other than a job? She worked a job too.
I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest. It's a relationship they both should have been supporting one another.
Yeah,
I mean, they're both pieces of shit in this situation.
Well, the thing is, the implication is she did support him at first, and then he showed nothing in response. So
the issue with it really is, again, it's going back to the lead guy. It's like all he's looking at is how he was wronged, and so because of that, he's now going to take it out on this village.
People.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
people are shitty to me, so I'm going to be shitty to them.
Right.
Yes.
I want to make it clear. I'm not defending these
I know you're not.
No.
Pointing out that they are.
I know.
Yes.
That there is a place to feel sorry for them.
Oh yeah. No.
Well, this is the thing. They all
fatty given his goals.
They all come from a genuine place. This is the strength of this show.
Yep.
And as I said, as much as I identified with Akira in episode 1, I identify with these fucks as well.
Oh yeah.
The difference is that actually, when I stop and think about it, I realize that I am at fault. I'm the problem. These fuckers don't. That's the issue.
Because they could go and take action, even if the situation is not their fault. There are actions that they could take to rectify it, and they don't.
Yes. Exactly. They don't take action. They just choose to blame the world, blame their luck, blame society, or blame the universe just hating them.
Yep.
Or everyone else being stupider than they are in her case.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's
the hardest to feel sorry for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have very little sympathy for
her. They sabotage the electric fence so that it's no longer just like enough shock to scare things away, but is actually dangerous so no one can get out. And they get in the digger and drive it away from the entrance from the end of the tunnel facing the village and let the zombies out and lead them into the village.
Yep. And then start hawking Molotovs all over the place to burn down the thatch roof.
Yep, because it's an old village. And so, our heroes try to help people out because they're good. They're we want to help these people out, and they come up with it like, well, if we can get the fence down, we can get out to the bridge, take them across the bridge, it'll be fine. Oh fuck, the fence is full of power. What the fuck? Wait, did somebody? Oh, and they should the jackasses show up in the digger, and they're like, guys, there's a bunch of zombies following you. Yep, we know.
Yeah, we did that. Obviously.
Why? And they're like, and here's why? Why would you do this?
It's a legit question. How do you stand to profit from this?
We don't. We just want to see the world burn.
Yeah, that's kind of the shittiest thing. It's like there's no profit. We're just going to hurt as many people as we can because we're bad people.
I want to see people I hate turn into the people I hate turn into zombies. And I hate you,
Why
Akira.
do you hate them? They just tried to help you because I'm. Shut up.
Yeah.
And he particularly hates Akira because they kind of knew each other in college. Turns out they both went to the same school. And the misanthropic introvert really did not like the very cheerful, friendly, outgoing extrovert that Akira was.
Yeah.
And he doesn't plan or anything. He just sort of charges forward through life and everything goes right for him. That's bullshit. Now, this is not entirely accurate about Akira at the time. He looked like he didn't have a care in the world, but he, gave a shit about the people around him, for starters. He tried to help. Tried to make things better for people. So naturally people actually tried to help him back. At least the good people do. At any rate, so he's like, yeah, I want to see you turn into a zombie, fucker. And Akira's like, okay. And basically they explain their different worlds. Akira's like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. I get the whole the world treated you the world was shitty for you and you're angry at it. I get that. Believe me, I get that. But I disagree with your methodology, sir.
Yeah. Well, the line it comes out with, it's like, you're saying that, you never got anything that you wanted. And it's like, but what's the point in you, trying to write out a list of all these things that you want to do when you're taking away what other people want to do?
Yeah.
You're complaining about the world not giving you anything, and you're taking from people now.
Yep. Yeah, so,
And it is like you say, all four of these assholes get meet their exact opposites in the group. It's like the woman who everything has to be the way that she wants it. Runs into Beatrix.
Yep.
And Beatrix starts explaining about all these different things that just don't exist in Japan.
Yeah, because she's my culture is entirely different.
Yeah. It's like apparently in Japan, when it's your birthday, you provide the cake and treat everyone else because it's your birthday. In Western society, people treat you. And various other things that she goes through about you wouldn't do this, you wouldn't do that. And this cow is she's screaming I don't care about your culture. We're here. We do things. She's completely fucking unrepentant.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
utterly and completely. And that is you look at it. Yep, and that's entirely your problem, lady.
Yep.
And we had a great sort of fight scene between the two of them, with her with the high power hedge clippers, hedge trimmer, and
hedge clippers versus katana,
and naginata and stuff. And yeah, it's a fun scene, and it ends up with ends up with Beatrix luring the zombies to the water wheel, riding it up, and having the zombies break it to turn off the electric fence. And the office lady's like, wait, what the fuck? Wait, were you planning that the whole time?
Yeah, she's literally said, that's absolutely not the way that you should do that.
Yeah, it worked.
I don't care.
Yes, but it worked. And then she gets she goes. Beatrix goes riding off walking on top of the water wheel, the wheel as it rolls, and nearly crushes the lady. It doesn't. She drops her hedge clippers and gets surrounded by zombies, and that's the last we ever see of her.
Yes.
And Beatrix mentions, well, now how do I get off this thing? This is a problem. Kendo faces off against the office worker. Kendo has befriended a young girl who's been orphaned by the apocalypse, and it's basically down to her and her dog. Mm-hmm. And it's very sweet, and they get chased up on the roof, and the office, the dude with the family problems is there with them, and he's trying to shove Kensho off the roof, and this is where the argument comes about. What did you ever do for your wife?
Yeah. Well,
what you wanted was a mother, not a wife.
Yeah, it's those opposites again.
Yep.
Kensho spent his time pleasing other people and taking nothing for himself. This guy has spent all his time doing nothing for anyone else and expecting things back. and now he's changed it. All Kensho wants is literally says all he wants is to make people smile.
Yep.
He's outward and looking at other people, not just himself. And this guy is completely self-absorbed.
Yep. And he pushes his Kensho. He's trying to push Kensho off the roof into the zombies. Kensho's like, well, you know what? See the cesspool. I've got an idea. It's a terrible idea, but I'm Captain Bad Plan.
Do it. The only person with worse plans than me is Akira, and he's not here right now.
So he pulls the two of them off the roof and gets naked and dives into the cesspool.
Head first.
This is, by the way, do not do this.
No.
This is a terrible idea.
This is, people have died doing this, just putting that out there.
Yes.
Like...
No, that's people, not person. Like,
yeah.
Do not do this. Do not do this. Do not do this. At any rate, so, it does not go well for the office worker at this point. And Kensho spends the rest of the episode pixelated.
Now, Kensho's often been pixelated in certain areas because he spends a hell of a lot of time naked.
Yep.
But yeah, for the remainder of the episode, he's completely permanently pixelated other than his eyes. It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
It's hilarious.
The big dude goes after Shizuku because he's gotten kind of rapey.
Yeah.
More than a little, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's turned this whole, the world is against me in regards to my job and doing anything to, this is also why girls don't like me, so I'm going to force myself on someone.
Yeah.
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 And, Shizuka basically is like, dude, like, form connection, like, I forget exactly how she phrases it, but, like...
She actually goes into it, she starts reciting a study on luck.
Right. About how,
because
like,
he's like... He's basically said, I don't care how smart you are, why are you talking to me about this when what's about to happen is what's about to happen?
And she's explaining that luck turns out really be about sort of, a large portion of it is actually connections you form with other people and them helping you out.
Yeah, it's what you put out there that comes back.
Right. So it turns out, the people are genuinely lucky, and this is not 100% accurate, but there's there's truth to what she's saying. So she's saved by the people she's been helping out in the village.
Yeah.
Because, like, physically, like, she's faster than he is, but, like, he's a big dude and is pretty strong.
Yeah.
I suspect if she just kept running, he'd eventually just fall over, but,
Yeah.
And from his point of view, it's like, it's bad luck that they came out to look for her. And from her point of view, it is good luck, but it's also because she was kind to them. She basically became the village doctor for a few days.
Yep.
She did what she could to help out, and they wanted to help her.
Yep. And then it comes down to Akira and Higurashi, and basically, Akira's basically holding off zombies outside where his parents are holed up, and his dad's like, nah, fuck that. I don't want to see my kid die before I do. That's, like, awful. You in there. You protect everybody else inside here. And Akira's like, no. And, Higurashi shows up and grabs his dad and he's like, aha, look, Akira, I've got your dad hostage. If you don't come out now and let the zombies bite you, then, I'll throw your dad off here and he'll be eaten. And his dad's like, Akira, if you even so much think about coming out there, I'll fucking disown you. Do not do that. That will risk everybody else in there. That's terrible. And Akira, who's holed up with his mom, and some of the city folk, including the makeup artist, comes up with a plan. So the doors open, some zombies get lured in. You hear a lot of noises, and then a zombie Akira comes stumbling out, and Higurashi laughs and laughs and laughs and laughs. And he's pawing at the lifter thing, and his dad's sad and disappointed, and then Akira grins, reaches up, after he even said, I don't have to see your stupid grin on your face anymore. Cue Akira's stupid grin, pulls Higurashi off the loader, off the digger. And we find out that, no, what they done is he had the makeup artist make him look like a zombie with makeup, because she had her get with her. And they lured the zombies in. Everybody else beat the shit out of the zombies and killed them. And Akira went stumbling out, disguised as a zombie.
The oldest trick in the book.
And Higurashi basically gets bit at this point.
Yeah.
And Akira basically started talking to him. It's like, dude, like, what? Like, I understand all this stuff. What did you actually want on your? What did you not just like what like all this? What did you actually want to do for your bucket list? You know, throws the armor-piercing question of what do you actually want at him? And he's like, fuck. In all of this, I forgot.
Never asked me that question.
Never asked me. Yeah.
Sorry. Deep sci-fi cut, guys.
Deep sci-fi cut. One of my favorites. The other question you do not ask is, who are you?
Yeah.
So, yeah. At any rate, so, yeah. What he wanted to do is go to the pool with his friends like he did when he was a kid. And Akira's like, dude, you know, in college, you know, you were all alone. You just, like, like, if you want to just ask me, like, if you just asked me to come to, like, lunch with us, we'd love to have had you. You know, I'm sorry.
They literally go to a flashback where Akira literally invites him and says, "Yeah, we're heading to the cafe for breakfast. You coming?"
And he panics and runs off. Higurashi panics and runs off because, you know, was not expecting invite from extrovert over there. What the hell?
The cool kids, yeah.
You know, from the rugby team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't trust the jocks. Depends on the jocks. Turns out that the rugby team there was basically a giant bundle of himbos, you know? But yeah, and, you know, Higurashi basically takes his last moment to basically lead the zombies away from the rest of the survivors, you know, in a act of contrition that does not redeem him, but at least he's trying something.
Yeah.
In his final moments, he's at least doing something. And yeah, our heroes, you know, they're stuck at the fence. Like, okay, well, the power's down, but the fence is still in the way. We can't like get through it quickly enough before the zombies get here. And then Beatrix shows up on the wheel, and just rolls through the fence.
Yep.
And they get everybody to the bridge. The bridge is out because the assholes thought of that. And here comes the carpenter to save the last carpenter, who said, "Yeah, I saw the bridge was out, so I built a new one." And throws a makeshift bridge across. They tie it off and make it across. And Akira and Kensho are the last two across and are giant fucking idiots.
To make sure the zombies can't follow them,
They cut the ropes and hang onto the bridge that swings along into the cliffside. Fortunately, they do not break their faces and die.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
mostly
actually noticed a very like, again, those clever little details that the animators put in. They didn't just like hold onto the ropes and swing. They actually tied their wrists.
Yep.
Yeah.
They tied off their wrists. Like, again, one of those things where they don't explicitly show you them doing it. But if you're paying attention to the scene and looking at everything, you see these little bits. But yeah, they do the hero dive off the bridge, swinging all the way, and the inevitable smack.
And you can see Shizuka like, oh, these fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I really, these are two of my best friends, but they are goddamn idiots sometimes. Most of the time with Kensho.
Sometimes. Most of the time. Most of the time, they're goddamn idiots.
Yeah. They get pulled up and everybody's fine. And, you know, the woodcutter's there to help them rebuild the village. As we said, check out woodworker.
They actually go back in and clear the village out.
Stash all the zombies back in the tunnel. Yeah, that they basically, and Kensho and Akira basically decides, yeah, I think, you know, I've actually had a chance to make things okay with my parents, and I was originally planning on just staying here, but no, I think what I want to do is see if I can save the goddamn world, maybe. See if we can find, like, if this is actually a virus, the way Shizuka, who's the smartest person I know, thinks, there's got to be a way to, maybe there's a doctor out there who can make a vaccine or antidote or something.
Yeah, there's like a CDC or a military base or something like that we can go and...
Okay, so we should... So they decided to go off and do that. And Shizuka's like, okay, so we're just heading to CDCA base or something? Or American military base? No, we're just going north, because that's where everyone in Adventure Stories goes. North. Okay, Akira.
Okay, Akira.
There's probably some like, admittedly, going south like is like would take us back through Tokyo, and that might not be the best idea. And that's the series basically. There's a big montage at the end of showing all the people they ran into who survived and most of them are doing quite well.
Yeah.
Well, as well as you can in the zombie apocalypse. Like
Literally, from what I could tell, the only people that they ran into that just actually didn't survive are the air hostesses who we knew didn't.
yeah,
And,
everyone off camera survived basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, the
Unless you
truck stop
actually
people.
saw their death.
The truck stop people have gone back to the truck stop and are being non-assholes there and helping people out. The couple that were there's a couple early in the first episode that were trapped up in their apartment. They made it out alive and have become complete badasses apparently.
It's an early little thing that they do where Akira's like drain piping down out of his apartment building and sees them trapped in their apartment. He's like, "Oh, do you want me to get you some shit?" And when he comes back, there's nothing but bloody handprints and a mess everywhere. And he's like, "Oh, I guess they're dead." No. Turns out in the thing at the end, they survived.
They survived. Some of the people from the host club that was shown in a couple of things survived.
Yep.
People from the aquarium, the little girl that was panicking all the time, she's there now, actually actively fighting zombies.
Yep. No, it's really cool actually, and it sort of ends on a note that if they apparently the studios kind of know more that made the show.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible there's not. It's probably almost probable there's not going to be any more of this show unless it gets picked up by another studio. Or I guess not picked up's not the right word. Unless it's licensed out to another studio.
Yeah. They did a thing where you see them having more little mini adventures in one shot montages as well as the people that survived. So obviously it's implying that they carried on and did other things, which is you're thinking, oh crap, they're kind of rushing through a load of stuff and stuff we'd like to get to see, and I guess this is kind of where they know this is the end. Except then they end it and it says, this is the tunnel to the next prefecture. Away we go. It's like, oh, you bastards.
So basically, if the show ends here, fine. We got a full story basically.
Yeah.
It's not like the world situation has been resolved, but we've had an actual true story arc that had a beginning, middle, end. It had several great story moments, and we had a bunch of character development for all our heroes, and hooray! I'd love, and so if we don't get more, that's fine. If we do get more, that's also great. There's more story to be told, absolutely. This is not one of the situations where I've had my fill of the show. The show has told me a full story and we don't need more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The show has told me a full story and there's more full story they could tell if it happens. Great. If it doesn't, that's also fine.
Yeah.
Hooray! And that's Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead for this episode. So, yeah. Hooray.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just start getting to final thoughts and then we'll wrap it up. It'll be me, Eric, and Gav because it was Gav's pick. So I'll start. I was pleasantly surprised by the show. I'd heard it was great from a lot of people, but I was not sure it was going to be my cup of tea. I was wrong. 100% wrong. This is absolutely. I adored the show. Absolutely adored the show. It is. I understand why some people love it so much that it's in their 10 favorites. I get that. It's not in my personal top 10, but it's in my top 30 at least, probably. Maybe top 20. I'm not sure. I recently sort of came up with sort of my current top 10 and that parts of that top 10 change.
Yeah.
So I'm depending on my mood, but brilliant show. I absolutely loved it. It's not quite on the level of some of the other shows we've covered for me, but I get why I can understand why if someone said, I like the show better than Mob Psycho, I totally would understand why they would say that. I would disagree, but I get it.
Yeah. You just hurt my brain. I'm sorry. What? No, those words don't make any sense.
As a preference, I get it. This, but because it is telling a different story. It has different. The story it's telling is so different that I understand why someone might prefer that story.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, not really. I don't see that at all, but I'm going to say that.
I said, I don't agree, but but yeah, no, it's a great show. Absolutely brilliant show. The music is fucking incredible. Like, holy shit, the music's good. It's not. I'll say this: it's not the best music we've had recently in the series. That title, I think, still goes to Bocchi the Rock.
Yeah, I mean, it's a show about music.
That's
so...
yes, exactly. Like, but for a show that's not actually about music, yeah. Fuck, music's great. The writing's snappy and fun. The characters, like our main cast, are just all so likable. Especially like Shizuka starts out like harder to like, but you can see where the character's supposed to go, and it goes there. Once you realize she's the main character, you're like, yeah, okay, I know if I'm going to like her, this is the direction it has to go. It goes there.
Yeah.
Well done. The animation's very good in my opinion. Eric will probably talk about that more. I love the character designs for the most part, like, and it's a great show. Like seriously, the writing is excellent. The art's great. The animation is good. The music's great. Like it's a brilliant show. If you haven't watched it, go fucking watch it. Jesus Christ. Stop listening to us. Go watch the show. Eric?
I really like this show. The show's gloriously absurd with enough heart to make it to drive it forward. It's just the animation's great. It's nothing to write home about. Like I'm not going to gush it over, but it's very good at what it's trying to do. I really enjoy that all the gore effects are all in bright neon colors because A, it lets you do more of them, and B, it sort of drives home the idea that this is almost a delusional degree of happy-go-luckiness in the face of terror.
Yep.
And it's a great visual cue for what's going on.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think we hit on all the points that I was going to make already.
I mean, yeah.
Like Akira and Kenshiro are like the two besties. A great pair of besties. I wish we got more Beatrix. I think I would have liked her more if I got to actually know her.
She is the least developed character of the four, and she desperately needed more screen time. I agree with you on that. And I think that she gets more since she showed up later. I think she gets more of it in the manga later on.
Yeah.
That's my gut.
And should there be a season 2 if this gets picked up by another studio? So apparently the one that did this crashed and burned,
which is sad because they did pretty good work.
They did a great job on it. They just didn't survive the making of it, which sucks.
Yeah, but apparently it was a studio. This was literally the first full production they did themselves.
Yeah, this is their first real production, like
them
on their own doing cool shit. And
like they've worked on everything.
Yeah,
like everything big you can think of, like from Pokemon onwards. Like it's like they've done
they did a lot of like key animation stuff and supporting stuff, but they never did anything on their own.
Yeah,
this is their first big. This is our own thing. Let's go show what we can do. Oh God, we bankrupted ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a shame because it's
good,
great, and I would
good.
love to have seen them do more stuff with it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, no, definitely go watch the show. It is.
Oh yeah, it also has
exactly the speed you're probably looking for, whatever that speed might be.
Yeah. Also, one of the things it does have things to actually say, like.
Yeah. Like I said, it's an absurd pile of crazy silliness with a lot of heart, and with that comes the caveat that, like, yes, it has messages, big capital
M
letters, TM. Yeah. It actually kind of does a great job of being sort of Verhoeven-like, in that, like, you can sit there and like take it apart and look at these various
No, it is way smart
trying to put through, or you can leave them aside and enjoy it on a completely brain dead level and still get a lot out of it. It
is way smarter than it looks like at first.
Yes, absolutely. It
is on a level.
It's an example of anti-JJ Abrams.
Yes, it is on a level of like smarter than it looks, on level with like RoboCop.
Yeah,
like the original RoboCop, like
or Starship Troopers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Verhoeven, you say?
Yeah, Verhoeven. 2 of his best movies.
Yep. All right, Gav.
Yeah, I think that's my leading point on this, is that it is a silly, goofy, loud, noisy, fun comedy with some hilarious slapstick and outright just good, heartwarming character moments. But it's also probably one of the most peeled back, blunt explorations of mental health that I've seen in anime. Period. Well, at the same time, like I say, the number of times where a character is going through something, and it's just especially towards the end and towards the beginning and towards the end. In the middle, obviously, it kind of. Well, actually, no, it doesn't, because Shizuka takes over that during that point. But either way, it's not afraid to actually strip back and show you why these people are like they are.
Yep.
Whether you can identify with them or not. This isn't just a case of, oh, he's got a shit job, therefore he's bored and blah 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 blah. Oh, no, this guy was on the verge of fucking suicide.
Yeah.
Which is a very, very fucking real problem in Japan.
Oh my god, yes.
About the way these companies drive people into the fucking floor. And that this was his release. That guys like Kensho was, as popular and as outgoing as he was, he found himself just in that exact same rut, doing something he didn't want to do, but something that he was forced to do because it suited his skill set. Shizuka pushed into her life because of her father. And then, obviously, we get to the guys at the end, and what we've just said there, like, for the most part, you can absolutely understand. You might not agree with them, or you might be able to point out where they've missed the point, but you understand where they're coming from.
Yep.
It's really fucking hard to pull off a show that gets that into the guts of somebody's psychology, and then we'll have you pissing yourself laughing 10 minutes later at a guy rugby tackling a dude twice his size out of a fucking window.
Who then explodes into a fountain of neon blood.
Yes. So, well done, show. This is a show that I will revisit.
Yeah. Probably.
Maybe not as often as I do some others, but yeah, this is on the list. This is, and I will agree, this is in my top 10.
I can see that. Yeah, sure. I get it. It is not. It's in my top 20 probably, but not quite top 10. For me.
It's up there. I don't know about top 10. I haven't done a top 10 in a long time.
Yeah.
No, but I do absolutely want more of this as well.
Oh yeah, I would love more of this
because I am in the show. I do.
I would enjoy to see more of this. I hope they get the old team back together. They're all currently looking for work anyway.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Wonderful.
Sad.
What I would,
a lot of very talented people that
pipe dream for me for this is they get the crew that did this get hired by KyoAni and they get the license.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, Peter, shush! You can't give me ideas like that.
But I mean, seriously, would you like to see KyoAni animating this series? I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. It's like you hope that, like, okay, some other studio might pick it up and we might get some more. Yeah, One Punch Man didn't think so much of that, did it?
Yeah, well, that was a slightly different situation.
Different situation, but but what I'm saying is I hope another studio that's good
yes.
mix it up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as it goes, another studio of at least equivalent quality, like.
Yes.
Like, I don't think the studio that did One Punch Man Season 2 was bad. Because I don't think One Punch Man 2's animated Season 2 was bad. It's just such a step down from what Madhouse is doing.
Yeah. But to say, like we said, this was the first full...
Oh, yeah, no. For a first effort...
For a first effort, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done. Seriously.
We've been filling in and helping out other studios do the work they didn't want to do for decades. Here's something that we've done. Oh, we're closed now. Oh.
But yeah, that's Zom 100. I think that's a resounding go. Yes, go watch this. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's good. So next time will be my choice, and I've narrowed it down to two choices, which I will tell you what my two choices are. I just haven't decided yet. It's either going to be Frieren to Beyond Journey's End, or it's going to be The Apothecary Diaries. I haven't decided which yet. I've been watching both. They're both really good. Like, really good. So, I will let the guys know, and you'll find out. You, our dear listeners, will find out when that next episode goes live. But thank you all for joining us. We really do appreciate you listening. Take care, everybody. As always, if you really enjoyed this on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, hi YouTube. I know y'all are sick of hearing this, but it does actually help. Shut up, Eric.
Feed the algorithm.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the deal. That's it. Till we see you guys next, be well and treat each other well, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.